Hello everybody and welcome. My name is Srom and welcome back to the channel everyone. Thank you all so much for tuning in the last video. Talking about just taking a break. If you haven't already seen that, I'll put a card on screen so you guys can check that out. But today, this is a topic that I know, a lot of people maybe are interested in. And I'd just like to say before this video gets started that for starters that COVID is going to be different for each person. So what I simply experienced in today's video, what I'm talking to you about is different from person to person because it's affected people differently. And I know like my wife and some other people who've got it, they also had different symptoms than myself. So I just want to preface that what I faced was not what everyone else is going to face, because some people have had mild symptoms, other people have a lot more worse symptoms. So I just want to put that out there and stuff like that just to let you guys know. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, turn notifications on and like the video, and please stay till the very end. So yes, as the title of the video goes, I did get COVID-19, and it's not how I really wanted to start off 2021, to be honest with you guys. It's not how I wanted to start it, but what did I experience first? Well, I experienced major fatigue, like especially when I was at work. Like I started feeling that, like I had a massive headache, I had a sore throat, and I felt like I was going to not really collapse, but I felt like my body was getting sick. Like you know how when you feel like you're about to get sick or something like that, that eerie feeling. That's pretty much how I felt before I got tested and stuff like that. And then the day that I called out, 2 days in a row that I called out, the first day that I called out of work, I experienced a low-grade fever with body aches, and also waking up, whenever I did wake up, to me profusely sweating, like my chest, my legs, and everything. Like my body was just drenched with my own sweat. And I don't really have a whole lot of covers at night. Like normally I never really sweat unless I'm wearing too much clothes. But normally the majority of the time, like I don't experience a whole lot of sweating whenever I'm sleeping, so I never really had that problem. So it was kind of really weird just having to wake up to feeling like you were just drenched in sweat. It just didn't make any sense, to be honest with you. So I experienced that, and the next day after, I felt a little bit better, but my head still was kind of like feeling very like groggy and stuff like that, and I felt a lot of fatigue. My eyes were hurting as well, and I still kind of felt weird in a sense. But then the following day after, like the 2 days after I called out, I still ended up working, and all I had was just a major cough, like a cough that I would cough every now and then pretty much. And then I decided to get tested because my father-in-law heard news about where he worked at, that there was someone in his department that he worked around who might have been exposed to COVID, or who had been exposed to COVID, and so he was wondering, if he spread it to us, in the household and stuff. And so I decided to get tested along with my wife, and I waited for about 3 days. I got tested on Saturday, and then I had to wait 3 days. I actually skipped work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday that week because I was waiting my results for the test, and it took forever for whatever reason. And then I found out I tested positive, and then began my quarantine. I took 2 weeks off of work, paid week off work because they didn't want me there, and for obvious reasons. And all I had throughout the majority of the time was a minor cough every now and then. And sometimes I felt tired or my body ached and stuff like that. But that was pretty much it throughout the majority of the quarantine. I mean, last week, at the time I'm recording this video, it is January 29th. Last week, when I was the last week of quarantine, I probably could have went to work, to be honest with you, because I was completely fine. I was pretty much back to normal. But also, at the time of recording this video, there are still some lingering effects that happen after you have COVID. Like, I've noticed going back, like this is my first week going back to work, I've noticed that I've experienced a lot of chest tightness. I don't know if it's because of the virus itself, lingering effects, or if it's because of me wearing a mask at work. I have to wear a mask pretty much all day because I'm technically full-time, and that was pretty much exhausting to do that. I experienced a little bit of a cough, major headaches once again, started getting a little bit of a sore throat, and I also started like sweating uncontrollably, like my armpits were very sweaty, and I kind of felt a little bit of having some chills as I was working. But I think I also lost some weight because before I had COVID, I really hardly ever got cold unless I was outside for a long period of time or in an area that's constantly cold, but for whatever reason, like I'm always moving and walking around the store, so I never really get cold at all, ever. And this past week, I noticed that I've pretty much been very, very cold throughout this week, so I must have lost some fat or some muscle or something because I look skinnier, I feel skinnier, and I'm already skinny as it is. Like, I have a hard time maintaining my weight because of a fast metabolism, and so it's kind of scary to know that I lost even more weight than I already have. I'm not like really, really skinny that you can see like you can extremely see my bones. Like, I'm not anorexic or anything like that, but it's weird to kind of, see that. And so I'm going to try my best of my ability to try to like work out or eat right or something like that to get some of that muscle back, or even eat well so that way I can get that back. But pretty much what I would, with the mild symptoms that I had, I would say that I would compare this to the flu, but then again, at the same time, not so much, because after you have the flu, you don't have all these lingering things. Like, after you're done with the flu, because I've had the flu before, you normally would feel great, back to normal, but I sort of don't feel like I'm back to normal. I feel like I still have the virus, even though I'm not considered contagious, but I'm still going through, like, the issues of my lungs being, kind of a little bit hard for me to breathe and stuff like that, and, having to still take vitamins and stuff like that, but it almost feels like it's like a worse version of the flu, to be honest with you, but that's what I had. Thankfully, I was not sent to the hospital because I've had a history of asthma, and I thought because, a lot of people who have been sent to the hospital, you've heard stories of people, going to the hospital, or the hospitals, flooding with people. I thought that was going to happen to me, but it didn't happen to me, to be honest, and I'm thankful and blessed that didn't happen to me. And honestly, like, I probably don't wish this upon my worst enemy, to be honest with you. It's a rough virus, to be honest, and I just think that you should, honestly, masks, I feel like the whole issue of masks, you can't really contain a small microscopic virus to stop it from a fabric. It's going to go through fabric either way, so it's like wearing masks, I don't know if it helps or not. To me, I don't think they do, because something microscopic like this is obviously going to bypass the mask. So I feel like it's pretty useless, but then again, I don't know. I'm not a health expert. I don't know the details and stuff like that, but this is simply my opinion. But yeah, guys, I would not recommend it. If you guys are experiencing any sort of issues or thinking that you might have it, get tested, wear your mask, social distance yourself from others and stuff like that. But that's my experience pretty much with COVID. And if you guys have any similar experiences, or maybe even want to talk about your experiences, leave it down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this sort of video, like it below, subscribe for more, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out and God bless.